Hey, what up? So I kind of wanted to talk about the video where I said I was Odin, and I honestly, going through this ascension, one crazy key thing that really stands out is I found Archangel Metatron, and he gave this one video where he was channeling Father, and Father Source was talking through him and said that you basically are the king of your own reality, and you have the choice to choose whatever kind of reality that you want. And that being said, I was like choosing the the reality of Odin and Thor and stuff. And I really did become that at one point. But when you're a fractal of Source, that means you can be all things. So I it's really just on you. I'm honestly not choosing that one anymore because I want to go more Egyptian, and because Thoth, like I said in my last video, Thoth is my guru, and I won't get into that so much yet. But when I was like learning, and Odin is a real being too. Like I've seen him, and when I was choosing that timeline, I guess I hadn't really explored all options, and but I mean, I really did become that at some point, and they would send me these waves of bliss, like, yeah, you can do this, but you can also do so many other things too, and like that's up to every single individual to choose, you know, like the yeah, it's crazy how many different timelines, and that's really what was happening. I was like timeline jumping and timeline hopping based on my frequency, and like I was letting Odin's frequency into my body, and now I'm letting something else in, you know. And that's really what it is. If you're a fractal of Source, you can choose all of these different paths, you know. And it was getting very exhausting, to be honest, and that's why I'm like taking a step back and really explaining what's happening. But God, shoot for the stars though. Like you can get into some pretty high timelines, and I've been talking with my friend Derek, the psychic, and like asking about all this, and he's like, yeah, you're just timeline hopping. And it's crazy how much it'll actually present itself in the real world though. Like if you go into some situation and think without a doubt that somebody is a god, you know, then they'll literally act like a god, and they'll say things, but you kind of like activate them. And somebody early on in my journey told me about that, and I should have listened, because I had a lot of trouble with my twin flame doing that, where I would activate him and he would literally start talking and say things like only that source god would know, you know. And it's crazy how when you really realize how malleable this three-dimensional plane is, like it does almost feel like a simulation, but it feels like a simulation because it was created, and we're all creating our own realities. And if you take that to heart and really play with it, you can play with it and kind of be the director of your own movie, so to say. But yeah, you can. It's really easy to get lost in it too, though. And I honestly think that the whole Norse gods thing, it wasn't a good avenue to go down. Just because the Anunnaki beings that are the Norse gods, not all of them have your best interest in mind, and there is a few Anunnaki beings that were leading me astray, and I've kind of found that out recently. But I'm always shooting for my highest timeline, and you know, you follow the energy, and whenever your energy feels the best, or you feel most blissed out, then you should follow that one, you know. And I was getting a lot of bliss from Odin, so I don't regret it, and it's just a learning experience again. So, but yeah, just forewarning, like if you, oh, and again, like that brings me to another point, like you can manifest realities that are like hellish too. Like you can like if you're in fear all the time, you just manifest fear everywhere, and that's what like schizophrenics go through. And I've gone through a period of like hearing voices and stuff, and shit sucks. But again, yeah, you just gotta meditate and fight your way through it, and you'll come out on top if you're dedicated and you meditate. You can really fix any kind of brain issue, or any kind of cognitive issue can be fixed. Like Yogananda talks about that. Any amount of like if you do Kriya yoga for long enough, you can fix anything. And that was like when I was 19 and got diagnosed with something, that was kind of like my viewpoint from the start. Was like, no, I'm just gonna go the Eastern way. I'm gonna meditate through it, and I did, and fuck yeah, fucking won. So, but yeah, guys, it's easy to get lost in these different realities, especially when you manifest it in your three-dimensional space around you. But again, finding a guru, finding who your like real father is, and that's what I've found in Thoth. Like Thoth has been this guiding beacon and this guiding light for me for so long, and now uh, come into my life even more astrally and been helping me even more, to help me ascend to my highest potential. And now it almost feels like me and him are creating together and creating whatever we want to manifest together. And it's pretty awesome. So yeah, that's why I said I was Odin. Take it with a grain of salt, because I mean, it was true though. Odin was literally in my body, and I could feel the bliss from him. But now I'm on a different one, and I don't know if I'm gonna share or not. Maybe someday. But yeah, guys, give me a like. Peace.